Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield. I am a professional dancer, professional dance choreographer, and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States. And we are going to be taking a look at some excerpts from the first episode of Street Dance Girl Fighter Season 1. I've been doing a full episode reaction on Patreon with having excerpts from the show released onto YouTube. So if you're wanting to see my full context opinion about some challenges or some of the auditions, I do have a lot of that is on Patreon exclusively, but this is the intro for YouTube specifically with what you're seeing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check it out. Ooh, yeah. Definitely clean. So they have to be versatile in multiple styles, especially when you deal with adjudicated competition. A lot of them do ask that you try to justify multiple genres of street styles. So I could definitely see that here. Spicy. Wow. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I think they would be hoping that all of them are going like wow. Okay, so we know that they got all in. So let's go ahead and we're gonna take a look back here. This is freaking great. I love this from them. Overall thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and say this from the forefront. This is the very first crew I am analyzing from, from the Street Fighter Girls series. It's gonna take me a hot minute to get this order right. I will be giving feedback to these differently because they are teenagers, they are not adults, and they are not professionals either. So even though we're going to be seeing little Hottie Moo hopping up in here, everybody gets the same treatment. I'm not going to be sitting here being like that when it needs to be. I'm going to be a little bit more cordial here and more gracious in my feedback. So just kind of know that at the forefront. So far, very highly adjudicated here. A lot of their accolades. For some of those competitions, you do have to be mindful of your justification of your style. So they're used to more structure in the criteria, what to look for and what to do. And then from there, the judges judge and do their job, right? So it probably means that they're very good at being efficient, they're very good at taking correction, they're very good at applying correction, and they're very good at adjusting based on the circumstances. That can be a really good pro for them, but also they could be potentially so used to that kind of adjudicated, that kind of more objective analysis or more objective judging, that this type of show, I don't know the judging format quite yet, so maybe it is more... I'm not 100% if it's on votes or whatever, or the judges or this, that, or the other. It's more subjective in this type of show format. So I am curious if, regardless, even if they follow the criteria, maybe out of preference, they still may not score as high as they should or would if they were in other circumstances. So that's just my initial note. just because you have really high accolades does not necessarily mean you're automatically going to win. But honestly, it does make you very competitive. It makes you very aware of the competitive nature, and you're able to be more fluent in handling your adrenaline. So I think that's really good. These are very long too. How they pop off the energy performance is very, very high. Also, their note 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're dealing with 8, so it's an even number. And there really wasn't any point in time where they had a sense of it wasn't symmetrical. So they've done a really good job on that. I love that with the kick, high energy. They're demonstrating levels throughout the entirety of their set, which is really nice to see here. The energy's really high. I love that hello, and also it has a childlike harmonies happening in the back. That's really fun because this is more that we are treating them, they are younger than what we're used to for street woman fighters. So having that's like, hello, it's a childlike, what's up, we're here, welcome, you know, and I love that. Great wordplay, regardless if that was the intention, like great tone play. That right there, do-do-do-do, so I would say like, this is just a little bit of refinement from going from the back all the way towards the front. That do-do-do-do, really hitting the drums more. Really nice having these moments of unison to the branching out and the framing of the center. Super fun with a single feature. It did appear there was just one of the dancers that was just a tad bit out a little too far. Yeah, but I mean, you can really only see it here over on the right side. But honestly, it's really not. It's not a huge discrepancy in comparison to the other side. I mean, they all did a great job on this. The set, they stayed and maintained their performance the whole time. Some of the content that we're seeing, I really do like the choices of the repeated groove here because they built it up as an add-on. So that's a really good way that you can choose to repeat a groove but still enhance it and elevate it, is by making it an add-on. In this case, they went from center to out, and then having one person feature from the back trailing towards the front. That's really fun. The kick and accent, it is nice to see the reactions too. Even though, you know, me preferentially, it'd be nice to just see an uncut for a show like this, and because I'm doing the full episode reaction, I'm kind of digging, I'm kind of okay with the branch out because we're able to glean what we need to from this. And it is really nice, you know. They calling it off, love it. With the wave out, super, super fun. Her expressions, yeah, you gotta have really great commitment up here. That really helps sell it, at least for your audience or your entertainment appeal. For your audience, because some competitions, they will actually factor in how impactful your routine is to the general audience, regardless if the judge likes it or dislikes it. That should really only be one minor component to the overall criteria that you're being adjudicated for. So here, it's really nice that, you know, you're able to sell it up here, but also they're selling it with their body, not just with their facial expression. That's a really big thing to note here as well, you know. They branch it out, super fun. Yeah, super fun. Nice some overhead variation. So you're seeing, I mean, the beauty of the basket runs, you know, I'm more forgiving here in this case, but it is a really nice clean transition, as you saw. Like, you're able to see them get low and move, maintaining a different level while having your center group engage in a different style entirely that we see. We saw more new school, some hip hop fundamental rock and bounce. But here, they're switching up the style, which is what made me say my initial thought about justification of multiple street styles. This is a really nice portfolio. We get to see them showcase their cleanliness, their charisma, their performance, their context of the type of tracks that they're really fluent and familiar in, as well as how they are working as a team, their good cleanliness, of course, their timing, their range, their fluency within multiple styles, because the more styles you put in, naturally, the more people you will impact in regards to your competency within them. But you also have to have a balance between the styles that are represented and the styles that are not. So it's just a really nice mix that we're seeing here. Their whacks are nice and strong, down into the split. I love that, how she framed her face. Yeah, they're great. I love it. And they bleed it through. Honestly, it feels interesting. Like, it feels like a compilation almost of other types of formations or visuals that I have seen before, like with the framing or the line with the framing and draping around. That could honestly just be because of my saturation of watching this genre of show just in multiple countries at this point, where I'm able to see that a little bit more. It's still fun nonetheless. Like, I do genuinely like it. It's fun. Now, notice though, you notice that our judges are like, they're kind of vibing with the track Spicy. It's very popular of a track. And especially when the breakdown happens, they are subconsciously doing the original choreography to Spicy and not 100% engaging with what they are doing to the track. So that's just one note. That's the risk you run with really viral tracks. You know, if a group comes on and they do Hey Mama, for this crowd, they're going to, you know, they're going to naturally associate Noze's choreo and not really, it'll be harder to engage with their interpretation of it. So that's my one note. And of course you can't really, it's always a risk you run with tracks like that, you know. I love her energy here. She sets it up really nice and they pop off. Nice unison here, but notice that because she's framing towards the front, she is able to take some liberties and not quite do all of the choreography the same. She may just engage with one hand. She may do something that triggers the group to respond over to another side, but all of that's really, really fun and enjoyable. Reset. And they throw it down. Super cool. And they go da da da. Ooh, super cool. I love that too. That just a nice wordplay here. I will say this does feel not 100%, but when you think about this type of bleed out, it does have that kind of lotus flower, right? That's an awful drawing. Forgive me. But also we have seen these types of formations done before. It is nice to see it in this way, to this track, to this musicality. It is really tasteful and really enjoyable to watch. So I am very much a fan of what we're seeing right now. Yeah, there's that part. So look, there we go. I got the sauce. They're still watching, but you notice that their attention is now derived in two separate entities. They are doing choreography subconsciously, but their subconscious is entertained in one avenue and their consciousness is focused on another avenue. And that can always be, you know, it can, you know, it's just kind of, it kind of depends. It's just risky. It's risky business when you notice those things. Got the sauce. I love that too when you have your feature. Wipe it off her mouth, got the sauce, talking about food, and everybody draping down on the side using the lower body to really engage is super fun. The transition into the double diagonal, super fun. Very clean, able to feature every member. Now, something that I really like about having the 10 seconds is that it gives them that impulsive decision, but also if you're featured in the last 10 seconds, a lot of them are not gonna like really focus on what you're doing as extensively as they were in the beginning. But with this type of show, it's just, there's just always gonna be kinks to work out in this. I love that they're already just pushing it, super fun. You got 4 crews that already said yes. 3 Cocoa and Butter, Holy Bang, and Proudmon are not. I'm assuming that they're not going to be so willy-nilly. They're not going to be so willy-nilly to push their button as much, you know. A lot of crews go off of impulse. A lot of them go off of thoroughness, which I really, you know, it kind of just depends. For me, here's my note. If there's a crew that you feel inclined of, I would love to work with them, or I would love to be a part of what they're doing, or help cultivate something, I see something here, push that button. For me, because I come from the training of, regardless if they're the first or the last, everyone must be judged equally. If you saw this crew at the end, would you make the same decision? Is the question that you would need to ask yourself. So for me, in general, I really liked this. Would I, as a mentor or choreographer, they have a lot of accolades, they have a lot of those things, you know, there's a lot of context that would need to be happening. I wouldn't be acting independently, I'd be within a crew, and it would also be, what is the crew's colors, what is the crew's aesthetic, what is something of how we train. For me, I would be able to be helpful in cleaning this crew or auditing this crew to give them more ways to channel what they already have, but if I were in their shoes, my goal crew, I would probably want to go for Proudmon because of their creative outlet or their creative aesthetic. I would feel like they would ask me to be challenged in different avenues outside of the constructs of the adjudicated competition, which is what they're very fluent and familiar in. And I think there's a couple of crews on here that have competed on some circuits that I have adjudicated. So I think that's really fun to take a look at. But all in all, though, this was such a great start to the show for me, and I just can't wait to see what they bring to the table next. This is wild stuff. Even this ending pose looks great, full of commitment, and they didn't drop their energy once. So I'm very thankful that they got they passed with flying colors. You know, this was really nice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was helpful in some way. If you want to see any Street Fighter content, Street Dance China content, K-pop content, or dance content of the like, I have all of it on Patreon as well as a ton of it here on YouTube. If there's something that you want me to react to specifically, I have options on Patreon that you can go and check out because the holiday season is coming up. It's a really great opportunity. I may have some special discounts and special opportunities depending on what tier you choose to join that could hopefully keep spreading the holiday cheer through the end of 2023. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.